Good morning, students. We are going to start the new chapter from Advanced Social Geography, Chapter 1, India Location, Relief and Drainage. So, in this chapter, we are going to see about the locations in the world, then the different characteristics or the divisions of India, and we are going to see about the regions of Great Indian Plains and drainage system of India, and to differentiate the Himalayan and Peninsula rivers. Okay, so first, India means India is the world largest country, right? So then among the world, India is the seventh largest country in the world, and in Asia, it is considered as the second largest country. Okay, so most of our India was separated by the mountain called Himalaya from the other continents. So the total square meter of our India of our country, that means India, is about 32 lakhs 87,263 square meters. So the subcontinents of India are the Bangladesh, Myanmar, Pakistan, Nepal, Bhutan, and Sri Lanka is called the subcontinent. So here this region possesses a distinct continental characteristics in physiography, climate, natural vegetarian minerals, human resource, etc. Hence, India is known as subcontinent. So India is also have different characteristics, like it have the climatic structure, natural, it all differ from the other countries. So that is, so India is called the subcontinent. Then we are going to see about the major physiographic divisions of India. So in India, we have four sides, right? So in the north, we have the Himalayan mountains, and in the south, we have beautiful beaches, and in the west, we have Indian deserts, and in the east we have the natural heritage. So north we have mountains, that means Himalayan mountains. In the south we have beaches, and in the west we have deserts, and in the east we have natural heritage. Okay, so um, so thus India is very geographically vibrant, colorful, and truly incredible country because of all this natural and natural wealth we have in our country. There is a varied nature of physiographic divisions in India, though the country has many landforms based on the major differences. It is divided into following five physiographic divisions. So we have five physiographic divisions. The first one is the northern mountains, the northern plains, the peninsular plateau, the coastal plains, and the islands. um, so the first one is the northern mountains. So first is the northern mountains. The northern mountains consist of the youngest and the loftiest mountain chains in the world. So in the north we have full of the chains, the youngest and loftiest chains of mountains. In the north we have chains of mountains. So it is formed only few million years ago and formed by the folding of the earth crust due to the tectonic activity. So the all these mountains are formed few millions years ago. It's a few million years ago, and it was how it first formed by the crust of the earth. Already we learned in the earlier classes, right? So how the mountains are formed by the natural calamities, or by the external forces, the all these mountains are formed. So it is stretched for a distance of 2,500 kilometers from the Indus Gorge in the west to the Brahmaputra Gorge in the east. The width of the northern mountains varies from 500 kilometers in the Kashmir to 200 kilometers in the Arunachal Pradesh. So the width of the mountain was from 500 kilometers in Kashmir to 200 kilometers in Arunachal Pradesh. So the Palmer note properly popularly known as the roof of the world, is the connecting link between the Himalayas and the high range of Central Asia. So, the Pamerkot is the link between the Himalayas and the Central Asia. So, this Pamerkot is also known as the roof of the world. So, from the Pamir, Himalayas extended eastward in the form of an arc shape. The term Himalaya is derived from Sanskrit. It means the adobe of snow. So the term Himalayas was from the Sanskrit language, and it means, what is the meaning of the Himalaya? The adobe of snow. So the Himalaya, the northern mountains can be grouped into three divisions. They are the Trans Himalayas, the Himalayas, and Eastern Himalayas or Purvachal Himalayas. So first one is the Trans Himalaya. Okay, that means the mountain ranges having in the north. No, we can divide the Himalaya into three sections. That is the Trans Himalaya, Himalayas, and Eastern Himalayas or Purvachal Himalayas. So the first one is Trans Himalayas. The Trans Himalayas means it lies to the north of the Great Himalayan Range. So the Himalaya in the northern side of the Himalayan range is called as the Trans Himalayas. It lies in Jammu and Kashmir and Tibetan Plateau. So as its aerial extent is more in Tibet, it is also known as Tibetan Himalaya. So here this Trans Himalayas means the major part of the Himalaya, the mountain range was in Tibet. So it is also known as Tibetan Himalayas. Then the Trans Himalayas was about 40 kilometers wide in its eastern and western extremities and about 225 kilometers wide in its central part. So the the structure of the Trans Himalayas was 40-kilometer wide in its eastern and western side, and about in the central part it was 225-kilometer wide, and they contain the Titi sediments. The rock of this region contain fossils bearing marine sediments which are underlain by territory granite. So these rocks contains sediments. Marine sediments means the soluble substance of the seawater, right? So all these rocks contain the sediments, marine sediments, and it has partially metamorphosed sediments and constitutes the core of the Himalaya. So it also contains the metamorphed sediments. Metamorphed sediments means the sediments which are formed by the heat and external factors like heat and some pressure is called the metamorphized sediments. It's like rock. Okay, so rock granules, no, rock sediments. So the Trans Himalayas has both the marine sediments and metamorphized sediments. The prominent ranges of the Trans Himalayas are Saskar, Ladakh, Kailash, and Karakoram. All these are the um, Trans Himalayas ranges. So this is about the Trans Himalayas. So the main points in Trans Himalayas means, so it lies in the Jammu and Kashmir and Tibetan plateau. The most of the part was lies in Tibet, so it is also known as the Tibetan Himalayas. So the structure means it was about 40 kilometers in the east and west, and in the central part is about 225 kilometer wide. Okay, and it contains both the marine sediments and the metamorphized sediments. And the ranges of Trans Himalayas of the Saskar, Ladakh, Kailash, and Karakoram. Then the Himalaya, second one is the Himalayas. So it constitutes the core part of the northern mountains. It is the Engfold mountain. So it was formed by the movement of erosion landmass in the north and Gondwana landmass in the south. So it was formed by the erosion landmass in the Eurasia landmass in the north and Gondwana landmass in the south. So Due to this movement, the Himalayas were formed. The Tethys Sea found between these two landmasses or was uplifted by the compression, and the resultant landforms was the Himalayas. So how this Himalaya mountain range is formed? Because of the um, sea between the landmass like the erosion landmass and the Gandhavana landmass, and in between we have the that is sea. So millions of years ago, the due to this changes, due to the movement of these land masses along with the sea, the mountains, these Himalayan mountains were formed. It consists of many ranges. The main divisions of the Himalayas are the here the again the Himalayas we can divide it into three divisions, that is the greater Himalayas, the lesser Himalayas, and the outer Himalayas, that is the Himatri, the Himachal, and the Sivaliks. So the first one is the Himatri, that is the Greater Himalayas. The Greater Himalayas rise abruptly like a wall north of the Lesser Himalayas. The Greater Himalayas are about 25 kilometers wide. So what are the structure? The Greater Himalayas that is about 25 kilometers wide, and the height was about 6,000 meter. The greater Himalayas receive lesser rainfall as compared to the lesser Himalayas, and that means by comparing the Himachal and Shivaliks, Himatri receives only lesser rainfall. Okay, here the physical weathering is less effective over the greater Himalayas as compared to at the ranges. Almost all the lofty peaks of Himalayas are located in this range. So the notable ones of Mr. Everest, Mount Everest, and the Kanchenjunga is located in this Himatri. So the main ranges we are found in this Himatri is the the main peaks in the Himatri is the Mount Everest and the Kanchenjunga peaks are found in this Himatri. Okay, so Mount Everest is located in Nepal, and Kanchenjunga is located between Nepal and Sikkim. So this range is the most continuous of all the ranges. It is region of permanent snow cover, so it has many glaciers, that is Gangotri, Yamunotri, and Siachen or same some of them. So the main points in this the Great Himalayas are here. The Great Himalayas, the range was 25 kilometers wide and height was about 6,000 kilometer. And here this Great Himalayas, that is Himatri, is receiving only less rainfall while comparing to the other Himachal and Shivaliks. And here we have two peaks, that is the Mount Everest and the Kanchenjunga. Mount Everest was founded in Nepal and Kanchenjunga was founded in Nepal and Sikkim. And also it has many glaciers like Gangotri, Yamunotri, and Siachen. Okay, so these are the main points of the Himadri. Then the next point is the Himachal, that is the lesser Himalayas. Here the ranges was between 3,000, height was between 3,700 to 4,500 meters. Its width was about 80 kilometers. Okay, so the major rocks of this range was slate, limestone, and quartz. So the Himachal was mostly limestone, or it was slate or quartzite. This region is subject to extensive erosion due to the heavy rainfall, deforestation, urbanization. So this Himachal will go, sorry, so this Himachal will undergoes high erosion due to rainfall, due to this climatic changes like rainfall, deforestations, and urbanizations. Okay, so here we have the mountain ranges like Pir Panchal, um, what the Dauladhar and Mahabharat are the mountain ranges found in this part. So major hill stations of the Himalayas are located in this range, and Shimla, Mussoorie, Naidal, Almora, Ranikhet, and Darjeeling are the familiar ones. So, what are the points in the Himachal means? Here the ranges was from 3,700 kilometer to meter to 4,500 meters. It was the height, and the width was about 80 kilometers. Okay, and here the rocks was mainly the Himachal. The rocks was mainly made up of limestones or slate or quartzite, and here so in Himatri we have lesser rainfall, right? So that is one of the like on disadvantages dot. Oh yeah, like on demerits, but and in Himachal the demerits means here in this area it will undergoes the heavy erosions, like because of while we have high rainfall or deforestation and urbanizations. And the major hill stations we found in this are Shimla, Mussoorie, Naidal, Almora, and Ranikhet are the main hill stations found in this Himachal. Next is Shivaliks, the outer Himalayas. Shivaliks extends from Jammu and Kashmir to Assam. So from Jammu Kashmir to Assam, it the Shivaliks or the outer Himalayas are extended. It is partly made by the debris brought by the Himalayan rivers. So from the debris of the rivers, only these Himalayan ranges were formed. That is, the outer Himalayas were formed. So the altitude varying between 900 to 1100 meters, average elevation of the range is 1000 meter. The width of the Shivaliks varies from 10 meter in the east to 50 kilometer in the east. So the width was about 10 kilometer in the east and 50 kilometer in the west. It is the most discontinuous range. The longitudinal valleys found between the Shivaliks and the lesser Himalayas are called Dans in the west and Duras in the east. So here in the Shivalis we have valleys, we have the longitudinal valleys. Um, that means in the Shivaliks we have and also in the lesser Himalayas also we have the longitudinal valleys, that is called the Duns and Duras. Duns in the west and Duras in the east. These are the ideal sites for the development of settlements in this region. So in Shivaliks, the main points are it was made by debris. The Shivaliks are made by debris from the which was brought from the Himalayan rivers, and the width of the Shivaliks ranges from 10 kilometer in the east and 50 kilometer in the west. It is discontinuous range. That means it was not continuous mountain. It was the discontinuous ranges of mountains are found in the outer Himalayas. And here we have the valleys, that is Duns in the west and Duras in the east. Okay, these are the main points in this outer Himalayas. So these are the 3 points comes under the Himalayas. Then we are going to see about the Purvachal hills. So Purvachal Hills means this or the eastern offshoot of Himalayas. It extended in the northeastern states of India. Most of the hills are located along the border of India and Myanmar, while others are inside India. So Dafla Hills, Abor Hills, Mishme Hills, Pak, Patkai Bum Hills, Naha Hills, Manipur Hills, Mizo Hills, Tripura Hills, Mikir Hills, Garo Hills, Kasi Hills, Jaintia Hills, all the hills which are collectively known as the Purvachal Hills. Purvachal means it's all the it was a hills. So we have many hills. So which of the hills are called as the Purvachal Hills? The Dafla Hills, Abor Hills, Mishmi, Pakkibam Hills, Naha Hills, Manipur Hills, Miso Hills, Tripura Hills, Mikir Hills, Garo Hills, Kasi Hills, and Jinta Hills. All these hills collectively are known as the Purvachal Hills. Okay, then the importance of Himalayas. What are the some important nature of Himalayas? So Himalaya blocks southwest mountain winds and cause heavy rainfall to North India. So because of this high mountain, it will block the wind, that means southeast mountain wind. So it will cause high rainfall in the northern side. then it forms a natural barrier to the subcontinent. So it was the protection to our the to the subcon to our country, because of this Himalaya, because it giving heavy rainfalls, and also because of this height nature, because it was the at the northern side, it was the protection to our country. It is the source for many perennial rivers like Indus, Ganga, and Brahmaputra. So Himalayas are the reason for the many rivers like Indus, Gangas, and Brahmaputra. The northern mountains are described as the paradise of tourists due to its natural beauty. So the northern side mountain ranges was attracted by many people because of this natural beauty. So it was one of the superb natural, that means tourist spot. So it was called as the paradise of the tourist because due to its natural beauty. And it has many hill stations and pilgrim centers like Amarnath, Kedarnath, Badrinath, and Vaishnav Devi temples are situated here in the Himalayas. It provides raw materials for many forest based industries, and also it prevents cold winds blowing from the Central Asia and protects India from the severe cold. So it prevents the cold winds. Himalayas are renowned for the rich biodiversity. So these are some of the characteristics of the Himalayan mountain ranges. Okay, so okay guys, so this is about the northern mountains. So what are the northern mountains we learned? We have northern mountains, we can divide it into three divisions: the Trans Himalayas, Himalayas, and the Purvachal Hills. Okay, so in the next class we can learn about the northern, the second point, that the northern plains. Okay, thank you guys.